Welcome to Homeschool is a Work of Heart. I'm Melissa Webb, and after years in the classroom and years homeschooling and supporting those in home education, and even more years creating curriculum for families like yours, I have learned this. Homeschooling isn't about perfection. It is about purpose. And this podcast is here to encourage you, to guide you, and to remind you that what you're doing truly matters. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Homeschool is a Work of Heart, the podcast where we encourage and equip you hardworking parents who have taken on the wonderful challenge of homeschooling. But that's not all I talk about. And I have really big news this week because our son Adam and his wife Lily have welcomed baby Sophia May Webb into the world just this past Tuesday. It is awesome on so many levels. I just bet you can hear me smiling from ear to ear. I've not stopped for hours. Well, sometimes I'm crying, tears of joy. It's just been a joyful, emotional roller coaster. And this part is a little bit crazy, but in 1881, Arthur James Webb, which is our son's great-great-grandfather Webb, fathered the last girl since 1881. And her name was Edith. And I did genealogy on the Webb family when I married into it because I had to learn more. I didn't believe that this was possibly true. Wait, what? There hasn't been a girl fathered by a Webb dad since 1881? What are we talking about? Is this true? So I did the genealogy and found names and dates and put together a genealogy book for our family. And as you know, women have XX chromosomes. That's all we're bringing to the party. When the baby is conceived, we're giving the baby an X. It's all we have. However, men have the X and the Y chromosome. So they are the deciding factor. Are they going to give their X, and ta-da, we now have a girl, XX, or a Y? Now we have an XY, and it's a boy. I will tell you this, it took 5 generations to break the boy trend. Webb men have only supplied Y chromosomes to their children since that last girl, Edith, was born in 1881. There's just a lot of boys in the Webb family. Now, we have had some beautiful adoptions to bring some beautiful girls into our lives. But as far as those Webb men go, Adam is the first Webb male to offer up an X chromosome in 145 years. Isn't that crazy? Oh, and this is crazy too. Adam shares the same initials as his great-great-grandfather, Arthur James Webb, AJW. Those are Adam's initials. I told you it's crazy. Now, when I was pregnant, I thought for sure I'd have a girl. I have a very close relationship with my mom. I love little girls, and I just knew I would be the one to break the trend. But oh no, that did not happen. I have sons. And even though I really wanted to experience the girl, it wasn't in the stars for me. And I just wonder, are there ever times in your life that you really think things should go one way and they don't? Of course there are. But the reality is that we can only control what we can control. And if we're going to be real, that's pretty limited. It comes down to our thoughts. We can control what we want to think and believe, which is the catalyst for all the feelings and our actions and behaviors. This is a great topic for something that I think we can tie into and what I am calling your invisible rulebook, because this thinking that I have control has posed some serious problems for me earlier in my life because I am a recovering control freak. I can admit it. There was a time when I believed I had to have control. I'm not sure where that came from. I haven't spent a lot of time there. We can go into our past and explore those things, but to me, I'm in control of what I can think today and how I can be tomorrow. So I work more in that area. And I am so much better about my control issues. I still have my moments. I am very human. But I will tell you and share with you where this growth came from, because this is a concept that was life-changing for me, and I think potentially could be for you as well. I learned this, I don't know, a decade ago. And like I said, it completely changed how I think about my relationships, the expectations that I put on others, how I parent, and now even how I'm grandparenting. The concept was called the manual, and it was a life coach by the name of Brooke Castillo who introduced it to me. And once I understood this, I started seeing it everywhere. And by all means, I encourage you to go and study Brooke Castillo and the things that she has put into this world. I love the way she explains things. It just clicks for my brain. It's a lot of psychology. You probably have your people, but she was one of mine. And like I said, it was life-changing for me. And so today, let me just break down the basic premise, and you can always go deeper. But let's see if I can at least get the ball rolling for you. How she first explained it, as I recall, was that each of us walks around life carrying these invisible manuals, these rule books for all the people in our lives. Isn't that nice of us? We have a life manual for our spouses. We have manuals for our children, our friends, our parents, our coworkers, our in-laws, even complete strangers. And if you are wondering, I don't know, do I have a manual like this? I'm going to tell you you do. And here's how you're going to know it. The next time you say or you think, you know what, I think she should, or I don't think he should, or he shouldn't, ... Anytime you are shoulding on other people, that is when you know, oh, I have a belief. You do. That's just a sign. You have a belief that you think others should adhere to. We all do it. This is so human, and nothing is wrong, but it is fascinating. So like I said, the problem is that most of the time, all those people that we are shoulding, they should and they should not, they do not even know that they're supposed to be following our manuals. The nerve of them. Would you like some examples? I've got you. So I'm going to open up my husband's manual for you, and I will share some of my proverbial pages. I will say that, let's see, maybe page 1 says he should notice when I'm overwhelmed. And page 12 says he should plan family vacations. And page 33 says he should always offer to help me without me having to ask. And let's see, page 57 says he should remember all the important dates. And yes, I am trying to be funny, but I'm also being serious. If I never shared my manual with Greg, how likely would it be that he'd even know these things? Through telepathy? Probably not, which is exactly why people say communication will help a relationship thrive or die. Now, are any things coming to your mind already? I love it. I want you to hold on to that. Hold on to that. I have an activity for you today, okay? So I know some of you, your brains are like, pop, 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 pop. Oh my gosh, all these things. I have manuals. I have manuals. Of course you do. It's all good. But let's explore them, shall we? Because here's the thing. When a person does not know about your secret rule book, you, my friend, are going to experience a whole lot of frustration and irritation and disappointment. And you know what? It doesn't fall on that other person. That falls on you. This is all the things that we can control. So are you relating? I hope you are. I'm going to see if today we can nail down some of your rulebook pages. Maybe you have a manual that sounds like, my kids should start the day's schoolwork without any complaining. Should they? My husband should mow the lawn regularly and not be lazy. Should he? Notice the shoulds. My friend should call me back when I call her. My mother should stop giving advice. My teenager should be more grateful for all that he has. My neighbors should pick up after their dogs. Notice these phrases usually start with should, or they are somewhere in there. They should, they shouldn't, they ought to. If they cared, they would. If they loved me, they would. If they respected me, they would. And I want you to lean in, pay close attention. Those statements are your clues. Those are the clues that we're reading from someone's manual, our own, and that's what we do as humans. Now, before I go any further, let me be clear. Having expectations is also not wrong. Having a manual is not wrong. It's not bad. We should expect civilized behavior and kind, courteous, compassionate, thoughtful behaviors from other people. Sure. We're just not going to get it all the time, and that's okay too, if you choose to believe it. So, in healthy relationships, we absolutely want to communicate our needs, our preferences, our hopes, our desires, our expectations. The problem is not having expectations. No, that's good. The problem is believing that our emotional well-being, our happiness depends on other people meeting our expectations. They don't have to. And that is their prerogative. That's their agency. That's their free will. In fact, it is kind of elitist of us to believe others should be doing our will for us. Think about that for a moment. If my happiness depends on someone else behaving the way I want them to, doesn't that sound a little elitist? And I think also I'm handing over a tremendous amount of my life experience to someone else. I don't want to do that. I've essentially said, you know what? When you act correctly, the way I want you to act, then I'll feel better. Then I'll be happy. What? That's not healthy. And it's a tough way to live because people are wonderfully unpredictable, aren't they? They are going to disrespect us, disappoint us, forget those important dates. They're going to go a different direction than we suggested. The nerve. They're going to prioritize things differently, and they're going to be their best human self, as flawed as it is. It's what we're doing, as flawed as we are. So our strict manuals can become a little self-centered if we aren't careful. What do I always say is key? Awareness. Number one, awareness. You have to know what you know. So let's think about it. How often do you believe your way is the right way? And do you allow yourself to get upset when others don't cooperate or agree with you and they actually do things their own way? Does that get under your skin? I really want you to think about it. And yes, I have an activity for you. I want you to do a writing exercise. Yep, it's journal time. Writing is thinking. We know this. So at the top of your page, you're going to write my manual or my rule book, whatever you want to call it. And you're just going to choose one person, one page at a time, one person per page. You could do multiple pages today, each page a different person. Totally up to you. Go with it. But just pick one person per page. So under my manual or my rule book, you're going to put that person's name. It could be a spouse, a friend, a parent. You could pick your child, although we're going to talk about children. There's a little different distinction with kids. We'll talk about that in a bit. But just put your person, your mom, whatever, your in-law, whatever you want. And now you're going to create two columns, okay? So you're going to draw a vertical line. The left side column should be a little bit wider than the narrow right side column. Can you picture it? I'm hoping you can. Now in the left column where it's a little bit wider, I want you to make a list, a wish list of all the things you wish that person, whoever that name was, that you wish they would do or what you wish that they wouldn't do. I don't want you to overthink this. Quickly, you're just going to write down, I wish she would, I wish she wouldn't. I wish she would, I wish she would, I wish she wouldn't, I wish she wouldn't. Whatever you want, as many as you want. Just be honest. Now for me, I did this years ago, that decade ago when I was telling you this concept was introduced to me, and it changed my life totally. I had already been married for years, right? Almost 20 years. But I wrote things, I remember writing things like, I wish my husband would make the bed every morning since he's the last one out of it. And I had one that said, I wish my husband would take care of our taxes earlier every year rather than waiting till the last minute. But yours can be anything you want. You could be like, I wish my friend would reach out more often. I wish my friend would remember my birthday every year. Or I wish my sister would apologize for that time she hurt my feelings last month. Whatever. I wish my teenager would clean his room and keep it clean. Pick your person, write as many things as you can. After you've done that, we're going to move to the second column, the right-hand column, the one that's more narrow. And for each wish that you wrote, I want you to ask yourself, if this actually happened, how would you feel? So for me, next to the one where I said, I wish my husband would make the bed every morning since he's the last one out of it, I wrote, I would feel respected. And for the one where I wrote, I wish he would take care of the taxes earlier, I wrote, I would feel peaceful. So just one word. A feeling, one word. What's one word that would just kind of wrap that up for you? Now, you may have a lot of other feelings that you explore. You could maybe say, I would feel loved. I would feel appreciated, supported, special, successful, confident, connected, valued. You get the idea? Okay, go do that. Now you're going to reflect. Reflection is so important. It's never about just writing something and walking away. I teach this to students all the time. You must connect with your thoughts through your writing. Reread what you have now. You are going to look at everything you have from your wishes to your feelings, and this is where the magic happens. For me, all of a sudden, I realized the made bed wasn't what I really wanted. What I really wanted was to feel respected by my husband. And it wasn't about taxes being done on time. I believed when they were, I would feel peaceful. And this is the truth. Human beings are always chasing a projected feeling. It's the feeling of what we want that we are after. And so many times we will spend months, years, or even decades trying to control another person's behavior because we believe if they act this way, then I will feel this way. But all I want to put out there to you today is to consider, what if that's not really how it works? Or at least it doesn't have to. What if some of those feelings are actually available to you right now? Like I could say, wait, Greg does respect me. What am I talking about? I do feel respected by my husband. I had that aha moment and I was like, he always gets them in on time. We've never been late at getting taxes in. Why does him getting it done early make me feel peaceful? Why can't I choose something else to believe? The beautiful thing is I could. And I had a great conversation with Greg. Instead of us just arguing, oh my gosh, you didn't make the bed again. And he'd be like, it's no big deal, Mel. We're going to get in it again. It's just going to be messy. But it means something to me. It is a big deal to me. I like a tidy home. I like a clean home. And so when I did this exercise, I went back and I told him, honey, the thing is, I feel disrespected when you don't make the bed. And he was shocked, literally shocked. I remember him just being like, are you serious? Really? Why? I just don't like all the pillows that you put on it. And when I get out of bed, I'm just getting ready. I'm still waking up. He's not a morning person. I'm not thinking about making a bed. I don't want to make a bed right when I get up. I don't enjoy that at all. And he said, this has nothing to do with how much I respect you. I highly respect you. Are you kidding me? But okay, if that's what you want me to do is to fluff up our bed and put all those pillows on it, I will do better at making that happen for you. And at that point, I did realize this was kind of silly. I was making a much bigger deal out of something just to seek his respect, when all I had to do is have that conversation. Do you respect me? I feel disrespected because I have this thought, if he respected me, he would keep the house the way I want it. Again, when I say it out loud today, I hear it. I sounded elitist. You should do things my way. I hear it now, but I didn't then. So you're probably curious now, of course, and what does it look like for you today, Melissa? Does he make the bed for you every morning? He certainly would if I wanted him to. But we came to a very happy agreement. What he does every day is he pulls up his covers on his side of the bed. He has one pillow he sleeps with. He puts everything in place, goes on with his day. He never puts all the pillows on. Now, some days I do put the rest of the pillows on. When I come back into the room and I'm like, oh, I want the bed to be all made today, then rather than just the plain pillows on, I will fluff it up a bit. I will put all the fun pillows on. I do change our bedding to go with the seasons. And so sometimes I'm really into it. And some days I'm not. But here's what it never is. It's never an issue. This concept helped me realize that I could feel respected by my husband any day, any time of the day, all the days, without demanding that he behave the way I wanted him to. Can you see how freeing this is? So if you want more peace in your life, I really had to share this. You can create it too. And I know some of you are thinking, okay, great, but what about children? It feels like it's a little different with our kids. And I will say, yes, this is an important distinction we need to make. So if you'll give me a few more minutes, I do want to talk about that because children are different. And as parents, we absolutely must have high expectation for our kiddos. They are in training. Our children need our guidance. They need our instruction. They need boundaries. And they need those natural consequences that I talked about last week. Go check that episode out. Lots of people loved it. But part of our job is helping them develop the internal beliefs and their habits. Those things will serve them throughout adulthood as they write their own manuals today. We are helping them write their manuals. And yes, they already have mini manuals. Don't believe me? Think of some of the things they believe you should or shouldn't do. Please have some great family discussions on this. It will benefit everyone. It's eye-opening. But even here, something important applies, and that is that your child's behavior doesn't need to dictate how you feel or what your emotional state is. Don't hand your power over to them. I want you to take this in. Your children's behavior doesn't need to make you feel any of the feels, but you have to be able to stand back, take a breath and say, this isn't about me. This is about my children. So again, I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a toddler who throws something at someone, a block. They're playing with blocks and a toddler picks up a block and throws it at another child. You stay calm. You enforce expectations. You follow through on those consequences. You teach responsibility and you're going to coach character. It's going to sound something like this. You're going to be like, hey, no. We're not going to throw things at people. You're going to pick up the object. You're going to have the child probably in your hands now. So they just lost their independence. That's just a natural consequence. Oh, you're going to lose your independence for a second here. You're now holding the child. You're looking at the person the block was thrown at. And then you're going to say to your toddler, we need to apologize. And then you're going to look at the person, so-and-so, I'm sorry I threw that block at you. and then offer it to your toddler. If they're speaking when they want to, that's great, but they may not, but you're still modeling, and that's fine. That's you teaching responsibility. Then you put the blocks away up on a shelf. You could say, I'm sorry, we can't play with blocks anymore. If the other child's playing with the blocks, let that child play with the blocks, but you're going to have to remove your child as a natural consequence. That child doesn't get to play with blocks for a little bit, 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you think. And you're just going to say, no more blocks right now. That's the consequence. You're not yelling, and no one is even in trouble. You're just giving the natural consequence. Oh, we don't know how to play with blocks yet. That's okay. Let's take a break and you go play with something else instead. You're going to notice that you are emotionally in check. I'm not embarrassed by my child. I'm not angry at my child because it's not about me. This is a training moment. If another parent's there, you can even thank them. You can be like, thank you so much for letting me parent right now. Make it normal. Don't make it a big, bad, terrible thing. A child forgetting to do chores. Yes, that's going to require correction from you, but it doesn't mean that you are miserable or feeling like a failure. You're making it about you then. It's not about you. It's about you training. It's about you teaching. Maybe you have a child who resists doing her work, her schoolwork. Sure, you may have to intervene, sit down, work it through, but it doesn't mean that you have to be angry at her all day. A lot of people will call that emotional blackmail. You're not doing what I want. Here we are trying to control other people's behaviors. So I'm going to be mad at you all day. I'm going to punish you. Why? How is that helping? I don't believe it is. I think there are much better options out there. And I think one of the most helpful questions that I've learned to ask myself is this: what feeling am I hoping that this person's behavior will create for me? It opens it up because often the answer is going to reveal what it is that I want, and I can make time for that, but it separates it, especially when training children, from what I want for them. I want my child's behavior to be appropriate, not for me. I want it to be for them. So yes, you can see how this is different when we look at children's behaviors versus behaviors with other grown adults. So I want you to be very aware. Now, with all the people, and again, going back to adults, especially, communicate your expectations, make your requests, establish your boundaries, and teach those children. But you can stop waiting for everyone around you to follow your script before allowing yourself to feel better about your life. Isn't that incredible? I hope so. I hope that you can see that this is beautiful, wonderful freedom I'm offering you. I want that for you. So this week, I know I went long, but I really want to encourage you to review your manual. You already have one written, but you might want some new pages and you might want to tear some old pages out. Because I'm not sure how much you've read it yourself or certainly shared it with others. And it would be really helpful if you did both. You might discover that some expectations are so good, so healthy, so worth communicating. And you might also discover that some of your happiness has been sitting in someone else's hands. And you, my friend, can just let that go. Maybe it's time to take some of that back. What do you think? By all means, let me know. I love hearing from you. Right on. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And hey, if you are feeling stretched thin and you would love some support with teaching writing, I offer programs designed to make that part of homeschooling easier and more enjoyable for both you and your child. I also have free resources on my website, so please be sure to check those things out and subscribe to the podcast. You do not have to do this alone. Right on.